In a world increasingly defined by conflict and geopolitical tension, today's top stories highlight significant military escalations and political upheavals. From military maneuvers in Ukraine to China's controversial arms dealings with Iran, the global stage is set for pivotal changes. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. On May 12, 2026, a junior minister in the UK government resigned, further intensifying the pressure on Prime Minister Keir Starmer. This resignation comes amidst mounting calls from disillusioned lawmakers for Starmer to step down, citing dissatisfaction with his leadership. The political landscape in the UK has been fraught with tension, particularly within the Labour Party, as internal divisions become increasingly apparent. Starmer's premiership has faced challenges on multiple fronts, including economic issues and public discontent over policy decisions. The current crisis could lead to a significant reshuffling of government positions and may prompt a leadership challenge. If Starmer does not address these concerns, it may result in a weakening of his authority and impact the party's performance in upcoming elections. Political analysts are closely monitoring whether this resignation signals a broader trend of discontent among party members. In the coming days, the Labour Party will have to navigate these turbulent waters to maintain its unity and public support. Recent intelligence reports have surfaced indicating that China may be preparing to deliver advanced air defense systems to Iran. This revelation comes amidst escalating tensions in the Middle East, particularly following weeks of conflict involving Iran. The potential arms deal has alarmed the United States and its allies, who fear it could significantly shift the balance of power in the region. Analysts suggest that this could lead to increased military activities and confrontations, further straining diplomatic relations. The U.S. government has expressed serious concerns about China's role in providing military support to Iran, which has been struggling to maintain its defense capabilities. This development could impact global trade routes, especially in oil transportation, as increased military presence may lead to heightened instability in the region. As the situation unfolds, the international community is watching closely, anticipating possible countermeasures from the U.S. and its partners in response to China's actions. As of May 13, 2026, Russia has intensified its military operations in Ukraine, launching a barrage of drone strikes across various regions. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has condemned this escalation, stating that every time global attention shifts, Russia becomes more aggressive. The conflict has reached a critical point, with reports indicating that Russian air defenses have intercepted numerous Ukrainian drones. This increase in military activity poses a serious challenge to Ukraine's defense strategy and raises concerns for the safety of civilians in affected areas. The situation is further complicated by ongoing discussions of a potential peace plan, with former U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly advocating for dialogue between Russia and Ukraine. However, the prospects for peace appear dim as hostilities continue unabated. Observers are left wondering how long this cycle of violence will persist and what it means for regional stability in Eastern Europe. Further developments are expected as both sides brace for intensified confrontations. The ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East are beginning to have significant economic repercussions globally. As military engagements continue, energy prices are experiencing volatility, leading to fluctuations in oil markets. Analysts predict that the conflict in Ukraine, coupled with potential disruptions from China's dealings with Iran, could exacerbate existing supply chain issues. Countries dependent on oil imports are particularly vulnerable, with rising prices impacting inflation and economic stability. The international community is bracing for possible sanctions against nations involved in these conflicts, which could further complicate trade relationships. Business leaders are expressing concerns about the long-term implications of these geopolitical tensions on global markets. As governments weigh their responses, the risk of a broader economic downturn looms, creating uncertainty for both investors and consumers alike. With key decision-makers meeting to address these challenges, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining the future economic landscape. The U.S. Supreme Court is expected to release several landmark decisions soon, which could have lasting implications for American law and society. As of May 14, 2026, legal analysts are closely monitoring cases that address critical issues such as healthcare, immigration, and civil rights. The court's rulings may redefine legal precedents and influence public policy in significant ways. High-profile cases have garnered national attention, prompting discussions about the judicial system's role in shaping the future of legislative matters. Advocates on both sides of key issues are preparing for the potential outcomes, which could spark widespread reactions across the country. As the court prepares to announce its decisions, the stakes are high, and all eyes are on the justices. The impact of these rulings will likely resonate beyond the courtroom, affecting everyday lives and future legal interpretations. Legal experts predict that the court's actions may also prompt renewed debates in Congress regarding legislative reforms. As tensions continue to rise in the Middle East, Iran's military capabilities are under scrutiny following intelligence reports of a possible arms deal with China. This situation is creating alarm among the United States and its allies, who are concerned about Iran's ability to enhance its military strength significantly. The implications of such a deal could extend beyond regional security, impacting global diplomatic relations and trade. Iran, seeking to rebuild after weeks of conflict, may find itself emboldened by new military technologies. Meanwhile, the U.S. has been closely monitoring these developments, preparing to respond if necessary. This situation underscores the fragility of peace in a region characterized by historical conflicts and power struggles. The international community is left to ponder the potential consequences of China's involvement and the broader ramifications for stability in the Middle East. As these dynamics unfold, the world watches closely, anticipating further escalations or diplomatic efforts to mitigate tensions. Amid ongoing hostilities, discussions of potential peace talks between Russia and Ukraine have resurfaced, fueled by statements from former President Donald Trump. Trump has suggested that dialogue could be a pathway to ending the conflict, which has claimed countless lives and displaced millions. This war, ignited in 2014, has deeply affected the geopolitical landscape, with NATO and the European Union heavily involved in supporting Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky remains cautious, emphasizing that any talks must prioritize Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, a sentiment echoed by various Western leaders. The international community has responded with both skepticism and hope, recognizing the complex dynamics at play. While the prospect of peace is welcome, many are questioning the sincerity of Russia's intentions, especially given past agreements that have failed. The situation remains precarious, with military actions continuing to unfold daily. Observers are urging all parties to engage in constructive dialogue to avert further escalation. As rumors of negotiations circulate, the focus shifts to whether these discussions can lead to a meaningful resolution to the ongoing conflict. The ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East have triggered a deepening global energy crisis, with prices for oil and gas surging to unprecedented levels. These military actions and geopolitical tensions have severely disrupted supply chains, causing consumers worldwide to feel the financial strain at the pump. Countries heavily reliant on energy imports are particularly vulnerable, grappling with soaring energy costs that exacerbate inflation and economic instability. This crisis is not just a financial issue, it has significant social implications, as rising energy prices contribute to a broader economic downturn that could lead to social unrest in various regions. Governments worldwide are under increasing pressure to devise effective solutions, including the exploration of alternative energy sources and negotiations with oil-producing nations. The potential for further escalation in conflicts adds to the uncertainty surrounding global energy markets. As decision-makers strive to mitigate the impact of this crisis on their citizens, they must also navigate a complex geopolitical landscape. In the coming months, we may see a shift towards renewable energy investments as countries aim to reduce their dependence on volatile fossil fuel markets. In a significant development, reports indicate that China may be supplying advanced military equipment to Iran, raising alarms among Western nations. This potential arms deal comes as Iran is seeking to enhance its military capabilities amidst ongoing conflict in the region, particularly with tensions surrounding its nuclear program and its involvement in proxy wars. U.S. intelligence agencies have warned that such a move could alter the power dynamics in the Middle East, potentially leading to increased hostilities and a destabilized balance of power. Official statements from China deny any involvement in military transfers, yet analysts remain skeptical, pointing to China's increasing willingness to support authoritarian regimes. The implications of this controversy extend beyond regional security, impacting global trade and diplomatic relations, particularly between China, the U.S., and their respective allies. As tensions mount, the United States and its allies are considering their response to counter China's influence in the region, which may include sanctions or increased military presence. This situation highlights the complex interdependencies in international relations, where military support can have far-reaching consequences. Looking ahead, the international community must navigate these challenges carefully, as the outcome will significantly influence future geopolitical stability and security in the Middle East. As the war in Ukraine enters a critical phase, the resilience of its people and military forces is put to the test once again. Reports from the front lines indicate that Ukrainian forces are mounting a staunch defense against renewed Russian assaults, reflecting a deep commitment to sovereignty and national pride. The ongoing conflict, which began in 2014 with Russia's annexation of Crimea, has evolved into a full-scale war, drawing attention to Ukraine's strategic significance in Europe. Despite the overwhelming military might of Russia, Ukraine's strategic positioning and international support have made a difference on the battlefield. President Zelensky continues to rally support from allies, emphasizing the necessity of aid and military resources to sustain their fight. Recent pledges from Western nations underscore the global commitment to Ukraine's defense. The situation on the ground remains dire, with civilian casualties mounting and critical infrastructure being targeted, yet the spirit of resistance among Ukrainians is unwavering. This conflict has not only reshaped the geopolitical landscape, but has also galvanized global support for Ukraine's cause, highlighting the importance of democratic values. As Ukraine approaches a pivotal phase in its struggle, the focus will be on securing additional military assistance, which may be crucial in determining the outcome of this protracted conflict. Thank you for watching. Which story shocked you the most today? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.